next speaker, I would say, maybe I'm wrong. So first I introduce him, and then we see if I'm right. The founder of Buongiorno, Mauro Del Rio. Hi, Mauro, how are you going? Welcome. Is it right? Is it right if I say that Buongiorno was the most successful exit for Italy ever?
It was the biggest exit in cash terms. So.
All right. So how?
300 million euros? Dollars, sorry.
$300 million. Okay. Congrats.
Thank you. So thank you for having me. Quick lecture, or quick lesson, as they call it. I'm not sure, basically, entrepreneurs should be kind of willing to take lessons, but anyway. The three things that I would like to tell you, which are the things that I think entrepreneurs should be doing, is very simple. On one hand, be on time, be bold, and also be a nerd in technology. I'll be more specific. So being on time, in my view, means this. Actually, technology, I mean, if you look at technology on a large scale, it's exponential. All the trends that you are dealing with, like computing power, adoption of terminals, or I don't know, sales of a smartphone or whatever, they look linear if you look at like for a year, but actually if you look longer term, they are exponential. So basically they go from linear like flat to linear like vertical in a relatively short period of time. So that is the opportunity of the entrepreneur, like identifying that period of time when they go from kind of almost flat to almost vertical. This means that when you plan your company, you shouldn't be thinking, for example, if you do something on a smartphone, you shouldn't be thinking on something that, like, let's say, works well in today's smartphone world. So like, I don't know, iPhone, $500, and so on and so on and so forth. Actually, your company will live in a world post-exponential phenomenon. So in a world in which an iPhone, as it is today, costs $20 or something like that. Like 3 years from now or 4 years from now, it will be like that. So you should plan your company for a world in which smartphone is kind of, or whatever, in every phenomenon. So you should plan ahead. You shouldn't be doing something that works in today's environment. But you should be doing something that will work in like 3 years from now environment, which is totally different from what is right now. So we should make, let's say, the mental exercise of projecting ourselves what the technological world looks like in 3 years from now. So be on that time frame. Be bold. Actually, like, to be frank, looking at the companies that have been presenting here, I've seen, let's say, a lot of, let's say, clever ideas or good ideas, but not very bold. I mean, most of the entrepreneurs here are not looking for like 10 million or 20 million in funding for a company that changes the world. Okay? Here it looks like the rock stars are the people who were here before, like the VC or the journalist. That is not the case. Basically, they, let's say, live because you are there. So you are the rock star. And the entrepreneurs are, let's say, the main characters of this movie. You are expected to behave like that. If you want the guy from TechCrunch kind of writing about you, you shouldn't kind of, I don't know, like try to please him. Or the VC is not looking for somebody who pleases them. It's looking for somebody who makes them sort of kind of almost look stupid. Like the VC asks a question, and most of the time your attitude should be, you don't understand. Actually, if you were understanding, in fact, you shouldn't be a VC or a journalist, you would be an entrepreneur. So you should aiming at, I mean, if you look at like very successful entrepreneur, you know, the kind of role models, you know, like the Steve Jobs, Zuckerman, or Bill Gates, these people starting aiming at changing the world. And basically what they have in common is that they are, let's say, not timid. I think this is one of the characteristics which, I mean, the the people that you are pitching to look for. So they don't want them to please them. So basically, you have to be bold, in my view, bolder than the average, let's say, Italian startup typically is, in my view. Then this is about technology. So about technology, so I wonder, I would like to make a test, which is basically seeing among the audience who are the people who would characterize themselves as being a nerd. A nerd? So 6 people. And this is wrong, basically, in my view, because like technology or technology startup is, let's say, maybe 50% business and 50% technology nerdiness. But basically, in the room, in my view, there isn't enough nerdiness, no, to think big. No, if you look at, again, Zuckerman, Jobs, Gates, Mike Dell, they were all nerds. So, and this is something that you, by the way, you can learn. So, in a way, kind of being practical, I wonder how many of you, let's say, own either a Arduino board or Raspberry Pi board? Okay. So again, very few people. So my recommendation is actually do yourself a favor, buy Arduino starter kit. It retails for below $100. You can buy it and work for like a weekend on Arduino with your laptop. You know, you like get a sense of how to stick together hardware pieces, how to code in a very simple way. And believe me, today, this year, in my view, this is the 1995 equivalent of buying a modem and connecting to Mosaic on the web. Arduino plus Raspberry Pi is the beginning, is let's say the more promising trend, as big as the internet was 20 years ago. So be a nerd is not like an insult. So basically, yeah, I would like to close with a, yeah. Nerd is, well, like, there are different definitions. Like, there's a part of obsession, a part of technology, a part of hands-on experience. I think entrepreneurship is about all these things, and I think can be learned, sorry. So I'd like to close with like a joke or like a recommendation, which is beware people who give you recommendations or good recommendation and then insult you. Nerds.